Good to have Reg back. Reg, how are we?
I'm doing well, Theodore. So is the Joe Flacco era over in Baltimore? Is that the writing on the wall? Is it all about Lamar Jackson now?
Oh, I think it's a little too early to turn the keys over to him, but I think I think they're making another set of keys. Let's put it that way. So,
well, let me ask you a question. Don't you think if this is going to be the Lamar Jackson coming out, they should do it now? Because don't you wish Kansas City kind of would have done this with Patrick Mahomes last year? Well, even though they had Alex Smith, don't you think what we're seeing now from Patrick Mahomes and the start that the Kansas City has had, even though it was a tough loss last night, don't you wish he probably would have gotten more reps last year as opposed to just like – because a lot of people assume he's a rookie. He's not a rookie.
Yeah. I think he was more ready for this than Lamar Jackson is, given the style of offense that he had in the Big 12. I think he's a better passer. I think Lamar Jackson's a better athlete. So I think Lamar needs a little more time. And playing against the Raiders, let's see how he plays, because you're not going to run 27 times. And I think if you can get him where it's a little bit more equal in the number of passes he throws, I think that would be a big step in progress for him, because I don't know how he is as far as reading defenses. And, a lot of times you look at your first option, your first read, and then you go, nope, not there. And then you take off. And that's not how you play the position. So that's what I would be concerned about with him.
Fair enough.
Okay. Did you watch the game last night?
I did. Fantastic game. And it's interesting because, look, both teams 9-1 coming into Monday Night Football. Both have young superstars at the quarterback position. And but we still don't know. At 9-1, it's a great start. Both, I assume will go deep in the playoffs. But being on Monday Night Football, the only game, all eyes on you, and both quarterbacks did not disappoint. Are either teams, to me, a front runner to win it all? You can't give up 54 and 51 points and be a front runner, right? You just can't. You've got to play both sides of the ball. Your defense has to show up. And as well as the Rams have been, and I love Gurley and I love Goff, but you can't give up 51 points at home, and be a front runner. You got the win. I get it. You're 10-1, but they don't jump to the head of the line now because of that victory last night. But Patrick Mahomes is the truth. He's real. It's just disappointing how their defense is. I mean, you put up 51 points and you can't get a W, something's wrong.
And that's what people forget about Golden State. When Golden State was playing well and scoring all those points, they were still one of the better defensive teams in
Correct.
the NBA.
Correct.
And that gets lost on people. You're like, oh, they play like Golden State. No, Golden State plays great defense. When everybody's healthy, they're very, very – you got good on-ball defenders, and you got guys who play the passing lanes really well. So there is a big difference there.
And let me say this for everyone who thinks the sky is falling up in San Francisco. Stop it. And I understand Steve Kerr's words saying that they've been playing, a fantasy game, and this is the real NBA. Win whole. Win healthy, and I will say this as somewhat of a shot, when on the same page, because right now they're not on the same page. No one can touch this team. And Curry's been out, Draymond's had a toe injury, and they're not right. And that is showing. It shows. And I said the one thing that could derail a three-peat would be injuries. But we're not even a third into the season, people, so relax. They've lost, 4 out of 5, 3 out of 4?
Yeah.
But are we really going to judge this team in November, or are we going to wait until April to see how they're playing? Who cares where they finish, 1, 2, or 3? You're not going to be able to beat them win whole, win healthy, and on the same page in a 7-game series. And if I'm Steve Kerr and I'm that ownership group, I do have to get Kevin Durant and I do have to get Draymond Green in the room, and we've got to talk this out because we got to nip this in the bud now, because things like this can fester a little bit.
But you can't keep them together, can you, Reg? You can't keep this team with that salary together.
Someone's going to have to take less, and whether it be Clay or Draymond, Draymond is not a max player. If he thinks he's a max player, he's sadly mistaken. But the most important person for this team for them to keep in as a max player is Kevin Durant. And I think that was probably indicated by the actions by the Warriors in suspending Draymond that one game. Look, we've all heard what been said, or what was said in that huddle about we don't need you to win a championship. Draymond, I love you, and I would always love to play with you, but you are dead wrong, my friend, because you do not win back-to-back championships if it's not for Kevin Durant. I'm sorry. You're great, but you guys need Kevin Durant and Steph Curry and yourself and Clay to win it all.
Why would you want to stay if you're Kevin Durant?
The road to the final is easy. I'm playing with great Hall of Fame players. And if they go on to win a three-peat, how can you walk away from a three-peat with a chance to win 4 in a row? They win a championship. The only way Kevin Durant is leaving is if they don't win the championship this year. They win the championship, he's not going anywhere. They'll find a way to sign Clay and Draymond. But you don't walk away from championships.
I see. I think he walks away if they win the championship. I think he walks away either way.
To go where?
I think
Possibly the Lakers?
New York or the Lakers, but I still go back to I don't know if Durant wants to help LeBron's legacy and give him another title or two.
And if that's the case, to your words, why not stay in Golden State and make sure he never gets there ever again?
But I think he doesn't like being called the villain, the guy who ruined basketball. He's got Draymond Green chirping in his ear, and it's November. I think he's a very sensitive guy, maybe too sensitive for the platform pedestal that he's on.
Then I certainly wouldn't go to New York when the expectations are going to be higher, right?
No, they can't be. They can't be that high. I mean, they can't be any lower than they are. So you could go in there.
Making the playoffs in New York is going to be good for Kevin Durant after winning maybe 3 championships in a row and being, as we speak, a 2-time Finals MVP. Yeah. You win a 3rd championship, you stay right there and stick it. Who cares what people say on Twitter? And that
he does.
Who cares? Well, he shouldn't. Dude is a 2-time Finals MVP and back-to-back championships and has a chance to be a part of a three-peat. Who gives a rat's what people are saying? Do you?
I think that he does. I mean, that's why I think that he will, and he wants to get paid.
Yeah, you're right, and he will. If he will get paid, and he is a sensitive superstar who doesn't like bad press. But guess what, KD? We've all had bad things said about us. You are look, dude. You got 2 rings, man. Hey, what are people going to say? What are people going to say? It was a chance for a 3rd, man. Look, show him the bird, man. Who cares? Who cares what Draymond is saying? I wouldn't care what Draymond is saying, man.
Reggie Miller joining us, the Hall of Fame.
KD is right. Give me the ball. Give me the ball in crunch time. He was right to do that.
Yes, he should have gotten the ball, and they would have had a chance to win, and Draymond shouldn't have been the one that had the ball at the very end. Absolutely. So we're talking to Reggie Miller. Reg has the call for the Kings and the Clippers November 29th at 10:30 Eastern on TNT. Best team in Los Angeles is?
Still the Lakers, with honorable mention to UCLA. No, just kidding. Doc Rivers.
Clippers have won 5 in a row.
Yes, they have, and they've been a surprise. And if sweet Lou Williams does not make the All-Star team this year, something's wrong. He should have made it last year. But Doc Rivers, with the band of misfits he has, these guys play hard. They play together, and they've got that one closer. They've got that guy that they can count on in the crutch. In Lou Williams. So right now I'm still going to say the Lakers with the best player in L.A. in LeBron James. But the Clippers are not far off, Theodore. They're not far off.
Why is it LeBron can go for a 3 at the end of a game against Miami to get, 53 or whatever it was, or make sure he got 50, but Devin Booker gets criticized when he tries to go for 50 against the Celtics?
Didn't like it. I love LeBron, but I didn't like that.
Okay.
basketball you don't mess with the basketball gods. And LeBron, of all people, should kind of know that, because I think Luke wanted to pull him from that game, and he told Luke, I'm going for 50. And LeBron, on that team, especially the Lakers this year, will have plenty of opportunities to go for 50-plus because he doesn't have a lot of help. I just don't like messing with the basketball gods and doing that because they come back to bite you at some point in time. But he got his 50, and that's great. But Theodore, you know me, I'm old school, and Josh Richardson was right to kind of react the way he did. I just think you were showing them up, a team, a franchise that you won 2 championships with. I personally just did not like it.
I'm curious what you think of what J.R. Smith said about the Cavaliers. He's not buying that the Cavs are, trying to make the playoffs or have any interest in making the playoffs. They fell to 2-13. J.R. Smith told The Athletic, I don't think the goal is to win. The goal isn't to go out there and try to get as many wins as you can. I think the goal is to develop and lose and get lottery picks. I think that's always been the plan. The goal is not to compete to win, he said.
In other words, he's using the T word.
Yes.
Tanking.
Yes. Do you think the Cavs are tanking already?
I would not purposely say the Cavs are tanking, but when you want to develop young players, you're not going to win very many games. And we've seen a lot of teams do that and get high lottery picks. That's why there should be in place a reward for everyone who is not necessarily using the T word in tanking, but if you're going to develop young players in this league, you're going to lose a lot of games. And I just think a lot of this, too, could be frustration on JR's part that he's not a part of this youth movement, which he shouldn't be, and they should find ways to move him to a contender and try to get, a second-round pick back. They don't want to take back salary.
He should be thankful he's got a job, Reg. I mean, come on.
True.
Come on.
But I think on the right team, not that he could be a starter, but coming off the bench, he could be a reliable three-point shooter.
Who would you rather have, Carmelo or J.R. Smith?
Carmelo.
Can he play anymore?
Yes. In the right situation.
What is the right situation?
I know.
Like China?
Well, here's the thing. Oh, I hope not. If you can't play in Houston where defense is an option, I don't know where you can play, though, Theodore, right?
Does anybody play less defense than Carmelo?
Shoot threes. Just go to the corner and shoot threes.
Who plays less defense than Carmelo?
Less defense?
Yeah.
Well, you had 2 of them on the same team.
Harden?
I'm not going to say his name.
Harden looks like Clyde Frazier next to Carmelo. He's like Bruce Bowen.
I think that's what made it difficult in Houston because, you've got Chris Paul, who is all about defense, and Tucker, who's all about defense. But, again, it's optional in Houston, and I think that was the frustration that was coming out. And Carmelo was made to be the scapegoat, which is not the case.
One final thing. What's going on with the Wizards, with that backcourt? John Wall, Bradley Beal. Wall, tells his coach to shut the bleep up during practice here. Time to take the wrecking ball here and maybe start over. Maybe start tanking here so you can get Zion Williamson.
Yep, pretty much. I would say that. I'm not going to say tanking, but I would have a fire sale. Yes, I would. John Wall, Bradley Beal, 2, I think, pretty good, not necessarily young point guards, but on the right team, especially Bradley Beal. But if you're John Wall and you consider yourself an elite point guard and you let Steph go for 50-plus through 3, and then Damian Lillard comes in your joint and gives you 40, can't call yourself an elite point guard. You can't let your peers go off on you like that and consider yourself an elite. And then you go off on your coach like that, Scott Brooks. Time for a fire sale in Washington. It is.
How about my boy Kemba Walker going for 60 and then going for 43?
Kimba's on fire. I just wish, and what's funny is he's been doing this, maybe not to the extent of 60 and 43, but he's been an elite point guard for some time now. He's just been on a bad team in Charlotte.
He's averaging 29.
I know.
I love Kemba. I just, nobody gets to see him. He's going to have one of those careers, unless he gets traded, where, we look at it and go, oh, that's right. He put up some really good numbers, man. He brings it every night. He plays hard. He plays hard every night. Love watching him play.
No matter the situation, the team, and I think a lot of that has to do with maybe the ownership group that's there, and obviously Eric Jordan. He plays one way every single night, and you're right, because it's Charlotte. Not a lot of eyes are on the Hornets, but the way he's playing and the way he's approached this season, he's brought a lot of attention to the Hornets.
How's the family?
The family's doing well. I just want everyone to know, I have to thank you, Theodore. Thank you so much for your kind words to my family. Right after the fires and stuff, obviously we had to leave Malibu, and we ran into you at the hotel, and you could not be even more nicer to Mama Bear, my two kids. So thank you, and we were one of the lucky ones. So don't worry about the Millers. We are fine. I'm more focused on a lot of the families that lost everything, and to me that's much more important. There's a lot of people that have zero place to go, and we'll be fine. My efforts are focused on the people in Malibu that don't have anything. So my hearts go out to them, the brave firemen who they battled this thing for over a week. That's where the real heroes lie. So I appreciate your words to my family and the Danettes. I cannot thank you enough, Theodore. You were really gracious, so thank you.
And that video you showed me where you could see where the fire went right up to your back porch. I mean, you're fortunate that, your wife got the two kids out, and, not everybody can say that. But just the devastation I saw just in that video was incredible.
Yeah, lucky, but there's other people that lost everything, and that's much more important, is helping them out in their relief efforts. So there's a lot of kids in my son's pre-K that lost everything, so we are trying to help them out. It's much more important, especially around this time of Thanksgiving and the holiday season coming up. We need to extend our hands out and help people, as opposed to looking in the mirror and saying, why me? Let's help other people out, as opposed to focusing in on yourself.
Happy Thanksgiving, as happy as it can be, Reg. We appreciate you joining us, and we'll talk to you soon.
I appreciate it, Theodore. Danettes, we love you. We love you, and sorry I missed you in L.A. Sorry I missed you guys in L.A.
Thank you, Reg. That's Reggie Aloysius Miller Jr. III. So I'm out at the pool. I'm sitting there, and I see these two little kids, and I see a woman who's with him. And I look over, and I see what turns out to be Reggie's son. And he's just like Reggie. Like and he's got this blondish brown curly hair, and he's just kind of animated. And I said, Reg, I wasn't sure if that was your wife and kids, because then his wife called and said, Dan's down here. She didn't go up to me because she didn't want to bother me. Reg comes down. I said, I looked and saw that, that had to be your son. And just then he's animated, dancing around the table. And I said, yep, that's you, Reg, right there.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV or download the Dan Patrick Show app.